Hello and welcome to episode 167 of Crippled System. I am Travis, also known as DarkLegacy on the forums and Infernal Judge, PG, everything.
You could stop with your accolades.
Nah.
That's not very brave.
Put it on the table.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Be sensitive to the sound.
No.
No.
Man, I could see where he smashed his ring down on there.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta lay it down.
Why would you do that? Anyway, I'm Katie, Bad Horse on the forums, but I'm never there, so if you see that name, that's not me.
Well, it is you.
Are you gonna post on her name ever?
I have never posted under her name, no. But she does every once in a blue moon get on and comment. This is Jeremy, Valiant418 on the forums.
This is Andy, Major Tusk on the forums. This is like 100 episodes ago.
And my name is Brian, and I play Scorn, and I'm on the forums too.
Is what?
I don't know. Carnage for you. ...
Dun dun dun. Anyway, we're super high energy, as you can tell. Some of us may have done a lot of walking this weekend.
I'm playing Going to Waterdeep.
Is this new guy completely within the podcast?
I don't know what that means.
It's a within, completely within.
Completely within or within. It's a rules joke. It's funny.
That's gonna be all day.
Yeah, we're gonna get rules.
Jeremy
comments like that.
told Nathan to be here next Sunday, so for some reason Nathan didn't show up today.
I was actually preparing to introduce myself as Nathan. I thought that would have been really funny too, but I decided against it.
No, you do not have an nasally womanly voice.
No, but it's just been like, hi, my name's Nathan, and
No,
really
you
fan,
have
just
to-
go with it, just
go up.
act.
We
Yeah,
have
you gotta get
Can't.
up.
We have Travis on the podcast today because he's going to surprise us. He has the errata with us. He's going to go over all the errata sheets.
Line by line. Is
Line
what
by
I was
line.
told.
No. You'd love that, but no.
We would love that.
But, hold on. What this document I have right here that says,
The document you don't have?
damn it, why didn't you send it to me?
War Room 2 had an update when I fired it up when I got here, and I was like, oh my god, please be the errata.
They
I would
wouldn't.
be so happy.
They wouldn't put it out on a Sunday.
No, I
Or if it was really, they knew it caused a lot of chaos, they put it on a Sunday and the people
Be
just,
amazing.
stare
Oh
in the
god, that'd
corner.
be amazing.
It would be amazing.
I'm not really listening. So
The errata needs to come out on like a Friday, like 9 p.m.
Just not next Friday.
That would be the bad.
for Nathan.
Next Friday at 9 p.m. would be okay.
No, next Friday. You know, the one that happens in
this,
5 days.
This upcoming Friday.
Next Friday.
This upcoming Friday. It's
upcoming
not next Friday.
Next
it's
Friday's
this Friday.
too far away. Next Friday's after the WITC. This Friday's before.
It'll
the
actually be a
WITC.
little bit funny because there are several people that I know are going to the WITC that are like, okay, I'm going to play with this errata in place because surely the errata will drop. I was like, I don't know that that's
Which
true.
one are they talking about?
Well, in
The
this
rumored
particular
Karis
case
Sloan
was a
one?
rumored Karis Sloan feat, and I was like, you can play it that way. I don't have a problem
No,
with
it's
it.
not gonna work that
but
way.
I don't think it's even going to be errata, and if it is, I don't know that it's going to be the WITC. And if it hasn't been errata officially, you can practice this feat this way all you want, but you'll be playing it wrong.
They will be disqualified if they play a rumored feat, not card feat,
Right.
at the event.
I have all sorts of rumors. I changed all my feats for scoring. I got some rumors. So I
Yeah,
got some
So
markers out, and I was
it
like,
doesn't work that way.
Karis Sloan explodes.
I heard a
Yeah.
rumor that Deadeye is now free.
No.
No? All right.
If
And
it's
Korn has it
if
too.
it's not in the consolidated
Errata
list that I've already
And that was my
posted
understanding, that
about.
we are acting under the things like you can charge a knockdown model,
Yes.
which I feel like is a good thing to have in place for the WITC.
Correct. You can charge a knockdown model. You can charge a stationary model.
Immobile.
Immobile model.
Immobile doesn't. Is not part of that. It was
No,
just
immobile
knockdown
doesn't prevent.
stationary.
You can
Oh,
engage
I
shifting
think-
stones now.
Shifting stones were
Shifting stones were
also
changed.
chargeable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
shifting stones changed so they can be engaged now.
Okay.
They lost that rule. So did Gallows Groves.
But it's like all the list that is 20 or 30 threads long.
Yeah,
that I
it's
posted
a
about
good thread.
is the official list as of before the event until the
Actual
errata
errata.
hits.
Which
If
could
the
drop this week,
If the
theoretically.
errata hits this week, it hits this week, and then we use it on Saturday. If it doesn't hit this week, it doesn't hit this week, and we don't
Yep.
use it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it hit just because I would like my cards in War Room updated, and that would be pretty sweet, but
Correct.
such
And
is
that-
life.
That's the main reason that we had to go with a hardline stance of it being there or not.
Yeah.
So many people use War Room that we can't say.
Well, what are you going to do about things that are in your errata but aren't in War Room yet if the errata doesn't drop? You're just going to say, but that thread overrides it?
Privateer Press has, I think, historically been accurate with the errata coming out and them updating War Room at the time.
No, my point is your thread of consolidated, confirmed errata changes
Yep.
is not in War Room. I'm playing an opponent that maybe hasn't read your thread.
Oh, just
What happens?
They should go read the thread.
They should go read the thread. Okay.
They should know about it.
Okay.
There's also just at that point just call for a judge.
Well,
So-
right. I mean, you and Nathan don't know. I just don't want to get like. So some of the people that are coming to WITC are like hardcore dyed in the wool,
And some are
like
not.
super competitive. And then there are some people that would lose a casual game on Wednesday to any Madison regularly.
There's a couple teams.
There's a couple teams of that, but then there are also random people scattered throughout other teams that are also that way.
Correct. What's going to end up happening is Nathan and I know for sure that I'll be saying it in the judge speech before
Okay.
the event is if there are any questions about anything they need to ask about it.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You really should.
We noticed your volume wasn't off. But if there's any judge questions for any reason about any of those models, just bring them up.
Okay.
I'll have a list of things there.
It'd be nice to have a quick printout of the rulings.
I could do something like that.
I thought about making one myself.
It's
Yep,
not
same.
hard for me to come up with something
Yeah.
that is solid for that.
One question I got from someone, and I didn't know the answer, but I thought it was interesting. I'm coming out really hot. Andy can also just turn me down.
Andy's fixing it. Go ahead.
But anyway, don't talk about it. Somebody asked, it seems like if there's 12 teams of 5 players each,
Yep.
then that means we have 30 games going on consecutively.
Correct.
Do you and Nathan have any assistants for judging, or are two
It's just
people
me.
judging 30 games? Okay.
It's
It's just
fine.
30 games. It's 30.
It's-
Yeah.
It's 30 games of people that at least know everything enough.
I'm more worried about during the team pairings because like Brian's the team captain for his team, and
Yeah.
until I explained it to him this last Saturday, he had never heard, or I guess a week ago Saturday now, he had never heard how it worked. He hadn't read the player packet.
Why didn't you read the player packet?
I know. I knew about how
He
it worked. I was
understood-
trying to get
but I'm-
clarification on a
He was
thing.
like- but my point-
Brian doesn't know anything. I had to explain the world to Brian.
My point is, Brian usually reads things much more than most people I know, and so if Brian wasn't even 100% sure, then I worry about all the team pairings being done without a
We'll-
judge around.
We'll just mention it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I'll bring it up again.
I mean, I know each team has X amount of minutes. I mean, I figure we'll get there, figure it out. I mean, I'm honestly my team is full of losers, so we're just going to lose. So I'm going to put like random people against random people, so it's not like I actually care.
Like you don't have any strategy.
Yeah, no, there's no strategy. I mean,
I tried to get my team to like tech into like different pairings, and they were like, "No, we don't want to do that." I was like, "All right, well, that's kind of part of the format, but okay."
Yeah,
I
there's.
couldn't even get my team to tell me what matchups they're worried about. They were like, "I'm good against everything." I was like, "Well, that's just not true."
Yeah, there's a. Yeah.
I was gonna start a
Maybe.
post on Thursday night about it. I mean, I don't understand the problem.
That's more organized than my team is going to be, probably.
Yeah.
Your team has people coming from St. Louis, Madison, and Australia. I think it's Tom still.
Is he?
I think
I don't
he's
know
still
where.
Australia. I'm not
Is
sure.
he? I'm not sure, but he's on my team.
Oh, college is out for right now, so he's. I don't know how Australian college.
I
works.
just figured.
I don't know
the
I
time
figured
frame. I'm
Tom Guan
assuming
is
he's
in
off
some
right
different
now.
country every single day.
Yeah, I was going to say he's Tom
Yeah.
Guan, the country.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like when I was discussing this with what WITC has going to the event. We have Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, Iowa, which is Des Moines, I believe, is where out of Muse plays.
Des Moines,
it.
yep, Des Moines.
I don't think there's there's a Minnesota team, and I'm pretty positive there's no Michigan or Indiana team. But then we got people from Indiana
Yeah.
on the Chicago team,
My team's mostly St.
and
Louis.
then St. Louis as some of the farther reaches or furthest reaches, and then Texas and
Who's from
Texas,
Texas?
Arizona. Team Red.
There's an entire team from Texas.
It's,
Oh, Team Red's all from Texas. Okay.
It's not all from Texas because you got like Brett Fogel. I don't think is in Texas.
I thought Fonzie was Arizona or California.
Flanger's Arizona.
Okay.
And then you've got Tom, which is Australia. So
Yeah.
like the longest reach is Tom.
This is Tom,
Just
probably,
the
depending
nature
on
of where he is.
Yeah.
But there's just
Yeah.
the region. I think there's mostly Texas for that one team. So Texas, I've been saying Texas is the furthest team we have
Yeah.
away, because
That's fair.
they are the furthest one that's coming to this. But it's pretty cool that we've got 12 teams. The only downside of 12 teams is it's 3 or 4 rounds.
Right.
If the paradigms
Depending.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh, so annoying. I would love to get above 16 next year.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm figuring because like this year we had a bunch of teams that I was expecting to show up that didn't actually show up at all. I was expecting a team from Oshkosh. Didn't have one ever
Yeah.
materialize from Oshkosh. expecting a team from Green Bay. Never got a team from Green Bay.
The Oshkosh and Green Bay crews are enough, but I don't even see them come to Madison very much.
Yes, they don't.
They just seem to drive their 10 minutes, and they're happy.
I had
with
hoped
that.
for WITC they might come down.
I think they're kind of intimidated too. I think they're just afraid, but I don't know why.
A lot of people I talked to thought it was going to be very like everyone there is going to be a member of the WTC. I was like, no, they're really not.
It's the WITC. It's the small one.
Yeah,
because
small.
it's like the reason that I was pushing for this type of event is Oshkosh asked for years ago. Or not years ago, it's probably 2 years now. They wanted to run like a store championship.
Yeah.
And instead of doing like a store championship and dealing with all the stores, I'm like, I'll just run a team event at a separate place and just be done with it.
Yeah.
And so that's where this came from. So it's surprising that they asked for it.
No, they weren't
and then
interested.
they just, I don't know if the interest didn't materialize or what caused Oshkosh to not show up.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that they'd show up because we were when we were counting our teams.
Counting teams, you were counting
like just
on them.
in the area
Yeah.
of 2 states removed. Nathan and I came up with, and I think Andy was part of the discussion. Dan was part of the discussion. We had like 16 teams.
Yeah.
In the area.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't
then
seem
we
hard.
And then we didn't have it show up, so it's kind
Well,
of,
yeah. But, I mean, maybe next year, especially if it goes well and people really enjoy it, I think they'll get talked up a lot.
yeah.
Did you guys already say how many teams actually are showing up?
12.
Yeah, 60
My team
players
was
is
team number
pretty
12.
solid.
Yeah, 60
were 11.
players, 5 people per team, 30 tables running at a time.
It's still a good event.
Yeah, it's one of the larger events in the area. We don't have 60 people going to a tournament very
The
often.
last time that we had something like that was when we were hosting the Mayhem Cups in
Exactly.
Madison.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice that that's happening. You mentioned something about the Mayhem Cup. That was at Lock and Load. The Mayhem Cup got passed, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Australia got it.
We'll be
Something
talking about-
happened to it afterwards. We don't know what, but we'll keep everyone updated.
Okay. Because I don't remember if someone was discussing whether WITC was a
No,
cup event.
It's
or
not.
No.
Yeah, it's not.
All right.
It won't be.
I couldn't remember if someone like that was completely outside of my discussion at all. So
No,
I had
that's
no
fair.
idea. But the cool thing is, I'm super excited about space because there's a bar literally through a side door.
That's fun.
And you go to the bar.
People like to drink.
They do.
Yeah.
There is going to be probably a lot of drinking considering first day we're getting through 2 games.
Yeah.
3 games.
When it starts
games?
pretty
I thought we were
early.
doing 2
I
the
thought it was
first day.
because
Three
so
the first day.
when if it finishes? I mean, we could.
Yeah, what if it's
If
done?
it finishes, it finishes.
But I have a hotel that would be kind of a wasting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nathan. When I talked to Nathan this last week, he was like, "Oh, we're just going to drop it to 2 games the first day," and I was like,
no,
oh.
I sent an email to both of you specifying this.
I don't read emails.
I believe you.
I'm aware that you guys don't
When I
read
talked to
my
Nathan in
emails.
person, I assume that trumps an email I've received in the past.
No.
Like, especially in like the last 2 days.
Yeah,
Did Nathan mention that
It was
recently?
like the
yeah.
last podcast. I
yeah.
thought,
Like a week ago, I talked to Nathan, and he was like, "Yeah, since it might only go 3 rounds, we're dropping it to 2 the first day, and then
then-
1 or 2 the second day."
Yeah.
Damn
Did
it,
he just
Nathan.
not talk to you about it and made that decision in his head?
Probably.
One more,
This is
and
gonna- this is gonna
and
be-
we give Travis another cardiac event.
Can we have another?
It's in person instead of like we can just like instead of hearing it come through the computer. and
Usually he
speak.
just types it when I talk about rules.
No,
This is so much better this way.
Like there was a very specific email, a very specific set of requests. I asked every team what they want to do. If they want to do 2-on-2, 3-1, or
Well, that's the
4-0.
one. I didn't get that one until after I had email problems for a few days, but
I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't
get
remember.
why-
I
you
don't remember
didn't-
getting the question
you
because I
didn't
joined too late.
Join until after the
I
fact.
joined too late. Yeah.
So you didn't have a vote in that.
But I want to vote.
Yeah, whatever. You joined too late. So yeah, no,
you
it's
need to push your mic back because they said that you're.
I'm still too loud. No, that we fixed that. My
Yeah,
volume was too loud. We fixed that.
yeah, Katie.
It
I am on
was-
top of things.
Are you?
I won my Waterdeep game.
Good
the
job.
plan is 3-1. I will re-ask again at the start of the event. However, I know which teams said they wanted 4-0.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a couple teams that wanted 4-0. There's a couple teams that wanted 2-2, and there was a majority of teams that were like, I either don't care or 3-1.
I would put it out soon, like even Monday, tomorrow, if you can.
The
'cause-
people that it matters most for already have plane tickets.
Well, yeah,
There's
that's
one
right.
team that
that's what I figured
active-
they're going to be staying
that
overnight.
actively hurts them the most.
Yeah, you
Sure.
figure
Is
they. Yeah.
They're the team that already has the most financial
But they could
loss
go
on
see
that.
all the great sights of
In
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
Yeah, don't bash Milwaukee because we're running the ATC in Milwaukee too, and I have no idea what people are
Well,
going to
no.
There's
There's Summerfest, isn't there still?
That's what I was.
That was
sort of
something
saying,
else- something else we
is,
didn't talk about.
Some
Like
of
we
those
were planning on doing either tournament, another like a small tournament if it finished early, or I don't know if we want to do a board game thing. I think that would be kind of cool if people
We
wanted.
could do like a massive Pokemon Go, just like
There's no real battling. If there was a battling, I would totally organize a tournament for it.
Yeah, I wish there was
no,
too.
just like that's a tour of the
Let's-
city.
yeah, let's go tour
where
the
nobody
city.
actually looks at the city.
I
They
We just
don't
look at our
find
phones.
Pokemon.
I don't. Okay, so I live right next to the Elks Lodge. I don't play Pokemon Go, so I don't know what's there.
Oh,
Well, it
Travis.
doesn't matter. You can start because it's
It's a
literally
free app. You could download it tonight.
I
And then
I
check
have
for
more
us.
things
And
to
also,
do than
people
this.
who do play won't care what's there. They'll still just wander around.
That's
they need
true.
to get their steps in to hatch eggs at the very least.
There's-
Yeah, I have so many steps this week.
There's plenty
Oh, that's how you-
of places that you can, like, there's food that you can walk to
Yeah.
to get your steps for that sort of stuff. So there's probably places that are.
I'm going to
gyms
bring
or
the
stops
charger
or
for my
whatever.
phone to the tournament hall.
Yeah, you are.
There's
There's
a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's I don't know if the place is a hall or anything like that. I could check. I guess.
Have you been in the Elks Lodge?
Yes.
You don't even, okay, so you know what it looks like inside.
Yeah, I know what it looks like inside. I don't play Pokemon Go, so I don't know what it is in comparison to everything else.
That's
if it is
fair.
even anything, it may
That's
not
fair.
be anything. So yes, I've been inside of it, toured it twice, so got an idea
That's
of what
what
we're
she
gonna
said. No.
Jesus Christ.
do. I think the dead air was better than that.
Damn it.
No, but I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun.
we've
Pokemon
got.
Go? I know.
You can like tour the area and see where all the best spots are.
No, I do not walk around Milwaukee by myself. 'cause
It's
I'm a
Waukesha,
woman. Oh, Waukesha
Technically, it's Waukesha.
is okay.
It's better. It's better than Milwaukee.
Remember though, it's the most red county in the state. You'll be safe.
It is. I had a long conversation. I had a long conversation.
It's the most Republican county in the state.
It is. It's pure Republicans.
So everybody will have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you're a woman, so you shouldn't feel like not safe at all.
There you go. That's how
They
that works.
basically keep all the blacks out of Waukesha.
So
Only
That's
if
how
you-
it's made, so
only
it's-
if you
I
have to
don't
worry
know how
about medical
respond,
things.
Not in a like.
It's
I
fine.
can't respond on
It's
air.
fine.
Katie,
You know I'm joking, right?
Katie, you be safe only if you don't have to
I mean,
worry
you're
about medical
accurate. It's
things.
true. It's a
No,
statement.
Well, medical things, you would be safe except for medical things because they would dictate what would happen to your body.
If I
For the
wasn't
red state.
conscious-
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That was a leap.
Is that a leaf?
Leap.
I'm joking, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
I
Oh.
can't tell.
It's fine.
No one ever
And
can
I
with
have so
Travis.
many responses that are just not appropriate for on air.
I am
No, what?
well within, like, I am firm believer of women's rights and all that stuff. So me making this joke is actually really out of character for me.
I don't think that
He likes
Republicans
women's
are
rights
against
as long as
women's
he
rights.
tells
I
them.
think that that's a myth.
So what?
What?
I think that when people say Republicans are against women's rights, that's a myth.
I don't
Well,
necessarily
they're for
believe that
their
either, but
rights.
it's
They
most
believe
of
that they have the right to tell them what to do with it. They're very strong in that.
Why did I bring up politics?
You've
It's
done
all my
my
fault. This is all my fault.
This is all your fault. Moving on. So WITC is very exciting, and that's next weekend. But it's too late if you want to join. So meh.
Why did you let that train crash? Damn it!
No.
That train.
Nope.
That train could have.
I was
crashed.
done with that
Yeah,
train.
I'm-
Our
I
listeners,
don't really
we get
bring
more
politics
complaints
up. My
about politics than anything, and I don't blame it. People turn out the
Sorry,
podcast, which
sorry.
they should do.
And I'm glad that you acknowledge that.
But WITC will be very exciting, and I know my team's very excited to play at least.
Yeah, I
Hopefully it'll
think-
be really fun.
I think everyone is.
I think it'll be a good time.
I think people are having regrets now about the lists that they submitted.
Yeah, I've heard regrets just today
So.
from people.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's
what
fine.
happens.
That's life.
Are we
They'll figure
hoping
it
to? Are we hoping to see
Exactly.
finalized lists by Monday, or is there?
I'm hoping to do it this evening.
Okay. I told my team I thought by Monday they'd be up. Is what
So
I told my team.
I've got, assuming that his teammate responds to me, or if you text him,
His phone usually stays in his bedroom. I just hear it vibrating and going off all
so
day.
he won't answer until late tonight.
Yeah.
Assuming I get Jordan's list correction, because his is the only invalid list I'm aware of at the moment,
Okay.
and I go back through my set again that I've took from Nathan to look through,
Sure.
then I should get it up tonight. So
Okay. That'll
it should be
exciting.
tonight, early tomorrow.
I'm
really wanna-
excited to see the train wreck that is a bunch of Mark III lists that nobody's had a chance to really practice.
There's
Like,
a couple of those.
My list has one of the two lists I submitted literally has not won a game yet. It has played 2. It has won 0, and I am playing in the WITC.
I don't think there's any. I'd have to look to see if there's a DNC. I don't think there is.
I don't think there is
No,
either, which
there
is why I
isn't.
wasn't worried about
You
it.
can-
there is.
From what I saw, I was honestly thinking about just one list in the whole thing.
I like in some of the emails I got from people, I thought they'd submitted me only one list because it like people don't know how to read instructions real well to format things properly, so it's easily readable. Of this is one list, this is the second list, and person
The
by
fact
person. So
you
I had
got everything on time shocks the fuck out of me from one.
I was amazed that up to 6 minutes before midnight, I got the correct list.
Oh, I was hanging out with that team when they were doing it. They were like, it was like 12:50. They're like, oh, I need to get my list together.
I don't think Muse was the last team.
They weren't.
Wow.
They were the last 10 minutes. They were.
They took it right to the wire.
I can tell you which team took the last.
I
one.
made my team turn them in Friday
Blew up
morning,
my phone.
so
Nathan
and I
blowing my
submitted
phone?
right
Yeah,
after
like
lunch.
Nate's blowing my phone.
Yeah, I turned in fairly quickly on Thursday night.
Oh, you're a team captain too?
No, I
to Brian.
gave Brian my list.
Yeah, I had
Thursday night.
all my teammates gave me their list by Thursday night. I spent 7 or 8 hours on Friday tweaking my lists.
Yeah,
It was amazing. He's like,
that was kind of annoying because like I could have waited and tweaked my list before then, and then like all day Friday, Brian's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play some games and make some changes." Like, you son of a, you made me turn this in early.
I played so much War Machine in the last. I played probably 16 games in the last 8 days.
Oh my gosh.
so I got
I'm confident against a couple things.
2 teams worth of lists within the last 10 minutes of
Jeez.
of the sign up.
That's things to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, it is really hard. Like, I had 2 lists I was thinking of playing, and then I decided that they didn't pair well, so then I switched, and that gave me literally 2 practice games with the switch list. Like,
Yeah.
I actually started putting into my mind, like, okay, the format of the event, trying to, like, take it a little bit more extreme than I wanted to, just because I'm like, okay, the format, with the picking back and forth, potentially we can maximize some stuff.
yes.
I'm aware I'm quiet.
Yeah, you're very.
I'm
quiet.
well aware that I'm quiet.
I've been trying to adjust you here and there.
Yeah, I'm aware
and
that I'm
it's-
quiet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of getting into this, so it's like, rah,
He's
give me-
eating the mic.
Yeah, that'll be a fun weekend. I don't know. What other shenanigans?
I'm kind of excited to see what the internet does to everyone's lists. As soon
Yeah,
as
especially since this will be the
weekend
first big
comes
event
out.
where all the lists are out pretty publicly.
The second one, because the ETC,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago or last week, one of the two,
Yeah.
they had the lists.
Norm had to make sure that everyone knew in the world that his lists were in. Where he was the first
Yeah.
Mark III WITC or
Yeah.
WTC event.
It's all right, whatever. I really don't care. It's number of lists, number of games. They have 12 teams, we have 12 teams. It does there's no real whatever. It's the same.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So it's kind of exciting to see what people thought of and how they're playing and seeing what
Counterpoint.
the initial meta is. What?
America. My counterpart.
I don't give a shit really about America.
America.
That's
Okay.
why ours are better.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you looked over
sure.
all the lists enough to have some kind of idea what the faction breakdown's like?
Yeah. There's. No, I don't even know if I
5
can say
million
anything else.
Kador.
There's very few cricks.
Yeah.
There's
Are there any
very
not on
few
my team?
Legion.
There's at least 4
I
scoring, I
don't
think.
remember seeing any that weren't on your team.
Yeah. My team has 2, and I think there are 0 in the rest of the event.
For
There, no, there's one other. There's
Oh.
at least one other player playing cricks because he's
Okay.
borrowing models from me.
Okay.
There's 4 scoring at least.
There's a lot of scoring.
That's
And
actually
7
shocking.
years
There's
ago.
a lot of Kador. There's a lot of Signar.
Kador is the faction I still.
there's a lot of
haven't figured
red.
out I was
Is there
fighting
any
against.
There's a lot of red. There is
There's
at
a
least.
decent
There's remember 3 at least.
Yeah.
So
And they're all playing Cassius.
no, one of them is not.
One of them's not playing Cassius. Wow.
2 of them are not.
What?
2 are not playing Cassius.
That's shocking.
They even figured out. I watched a game with Menoth.
It's
John
not
was-
Cassius anymore. It's
John was
Wildwood.
playing he was playing the guy with the Krios 3, and he had
Yeah.
Corbeau behind him, and his opponent could not kill because Corbeau was behind
Corbeau's-
the battle engine.
yeah.
So there was
Oh.
no way. He basically shut down the range game. So basically, and the opponent's caster was a warrior model, so he couldn't ever. I mean, he couldn't actually attack his caster.
So he couldn't attack
So
Krios
Krios, he was just
because
hanging out in front.
Corbeau was just like, la la la.
I'm waiting for people to just
Doesn't
start
she have to be
bitching about
within
Corbeau.
7 of the models she wants to prevent attacking?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it just prevents melee attacks against him.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's
That's still a big deal.
He can only be
Prevents-
shot, but he can only be shot by magical
Oh,
attacks.
see, I'm Ret, so I don't care.
And it
Yeah.
prevents most melee from making it to him, except for the 4-inch reach
Yeah.
melee, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the math. to
I
make
forgot
sure
that he can't be shot by non-magical, because when I play
Yeah.
Red, I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah. But he puts enough. He has enough shield guards, and he has enough things to get into the opponent's
does.
jacks to make it. It's an interesting list. I'm not saying it. I mean, it's not the end all be all, but I mean, it's a
good.
pretty neat list.
It's interesting. I haven't seen that yet.
I don't know if every faction is there.
Is anyone playing Legion?
I saw a Legion list.
Is anyone playing Minions?
There's
Yes.
quite a few minions. There's quite a few
Minions
mercs.
is really good in Mark 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's quite
They
a
let
few
tanks
mercs and
gators play
minions.
together.
Well, no, I knew that part.
Yeah.
But then, like, I know Nathan is complaining because he's like, I have no idea how to put gators into my lists.
Well, that's because
It's Nathan.
Nathan has a mental block.
No, it's everyone that was playing minions that were playing the
People who are playing both
the
sides.
both sides are really easy at
really
it.
easy.
The people that are playing one side and not the other
Are having trouble.
Are having issues with it. It's the same as any mercenary player that's not prepped for the contracts to disappear. They have no idea if they're like, I'm a Seer Forge and a 4-star player. I don't know how to play anything else.
Yeah.
They don't know how to play Highborn at all. They have no idea what any of those models do because they're just not prepared for them.
So speaking of having issues and making miles and needs and things, I just made a Hexverse 2 list.
Yep.
While we
And
were
I-
sitting here.
and I realized it's exactly the same as a Resheth list, which except it's led by Hexverse 2. I was like, wait a minute, this
Wait
list
a
looks
minute.
surprisingly familiar with everything else I've been playing competitively.
It's because I've had that with Cricks. Every time I build my Cricks list, I have 6 to 8 jacks I throw in immediately. It's 6 to
Yeah.
8 jacks and 3 solos that are immediate in the list before anything starts. And when you end up with that, you don't have anything left in your list.
Yeah,
My fun approach is I've been trying to play with between 0 and next to 0 support, and it's because as I've been playing more and more games, I'm realizing which support miles are just going to need to be in one of my 2 lists. Like there's just as I play Cater, I'm understanding I'm going to need an Extoller, probably one of my 2 lists. I'm
Yep.
just going to need that.
Yep.
But it's fun to play against all these just killer things and not have the support instead of just because the other option is to put a bunch of support in and always have it and not if this thing is working. But now I've played probably 12 games with almost nothing, and now I'm really getting a good feel of those 1 or 2 point, 5 or 6 points, maybe at most to throw in there. Because people, I haven't had any problems putting in solos and support in lists. I'm just been yanking them out for going for the choice of just going for pure offense. And
I have too.
just throwing at my opponent and just seeing which armies are causing me the most trouble, and then adjusting with support.
Red's in a little bit of a good place because one of our best support pieces also is a work piece.
Yeah.
Like Discordia goes in every list, which is technically support, but not really.
And my brutes are for the shield guard, but they can get some stuff done.
Yeah,
They
brutes
got
aren't
some
bad.
shenanigans, so I don't mind them as support as much. But like Extollers and Willbreakers, that's stuff that just doesn't do that much in theory. They have moments, but you're really getting there for the Eyeless Sight or the rerolls or the tough, and it's.
I've been cutting Silas out of lists. Like, I never thought I'd cut Silas out of lists. but
The Cricks list, Dara doesn't see every list anymore.
Nope.
I have a list or 2 that has Dara in it.
Yeah.
Not all of my lists have Dara. I've had Scar lists that have Scar lists still get the Styxis Raider Captain base.
yeah.
But like there's a bunch of other lists that don't get support. However, I do immediately add 8 points of support to my list because the Warwitch Siren is still better than every other support piece in the game.
Yeah.
When it comes down to what she does, even though she dropped a point in magic ability,
Whatever.
But it's still a point of focus inside Cricks that's additional
She's
to
still
everything else
bananas.
is stupid
Yeah, she's
good.
bananas, yeah.
Wasn't everyone lost a point of magic ability except for like the Colden Lords?
Something like that
It's
because
like everyone they just got buffed.
Our guys stayed the same.
because
But
Aeon
Anna
holds
just stayed the same. But Anna got dropped.
Yeah, Anna dropped and Alexia 1 or 2. I forget exactly which one
Druids
dropped.
dropped, didn't they?
Druids
Didn't they go from
switched
7 to a 6?
I think they did as
I think
well.
they did.
There's 1,000 models in the game. I have a hard time remembering all of them.
He was mispronouncing Derrig Wraith.
It's say it right if you're gonna say it. It's Dara.
It's David Wraith.
He thought you were saying
Dara.
He thought he heard
Dara.
Daryl.
He heard Daryl.
No, because that's the damn Australians.
It's Dory Wraith.
Dara.
Dory.
But anyway, all this is
Is it
exciting.
Wraith
but
or
we should
Wrath?
talk about the good,
It's
important
Wrath
game
as well. Dory
that has
Wrath.
recently come out.
Yeah, we should.
Say what?
The important game that has recently
That
come
4
out.
of us
Okay.
have played.
That's not Mark III. That's Pokemon Go.
Sure.
Because it's amazing.
It is amazing.
The
Travis
number
should
of-
sign up for it.
I'm gonna pull a Katie and go on my phone now.
The number of people playing Pokemon Go is stupid.
It is stupid.
It's insane, and it's so much fun to just walk around. Like I came home today, and there were just 2 people on bikes stopped in front of my house catching Pokemon, and then there was a couple that was also walking around the sidewalk catching Pokemon, and then I don't know what happened because then just the girl was walking around the neighborhood
Without the guy.
Without the guy. So I don't know if his phone died or if they got into like
they
a fight
both
or
hit
what.
level 5, and she went red, he went yellow. She's like, you're out.
Relationship over. Except Katie and I are on. Okay, so Katie, Brian, and I live within a block of each other. We all 3 play Pokemon Go. We all 3 talked about this ahead of time. We all 3 picked different teams.
Right.
I went with a team where people I work with are going to be on the same team as me. So I figured that's where I'm going to spend, a huge amount of my time.
That's fair.
I went with the team that I agreed with the trainer and his process.
Yellow is the least. Also, yellow. I
Yellow's
think
the
I
least
almost
popular
went yellow, and so I almost went yellow because it will be the best if you want to go attack places.
Yeah, if you want to go attack gyms, yellow's the team to be because there's a lot of blue and red.
I think I want to attack things more because you get more. You just get way more.
Oh, you get a
stuff.
ton. Brian and I. So, first of all, Brian posted this on Facebook, so people that know him on Facebook have already seen a picture of this. But the place where I work, Epic, has a lot of problems. Just a lot of problems. However, for the game Pokemon Go, it is the closest thing to Nirvana you will ever experience. On a campus that's sizable but walkable, there are upwards of 30 Pokestops and 4 gyms. It's absurd. I know you don't know what that
That's
means.
great.
No, I know what I know what they mean. I know what they mean. I'm not that out of it.
I walked out of the Capitol today. The Capitol is almost as good. The Capitol is almost as good as a campus, but it's even more spread out.
It's more spread out.
The density of your Pokestops
is absurd.
10 steps a stop. 10 steps a stop. I mean, it's literally.
Yeah, it's like
I filled my bag 2 days in a row, and then went and spent a bunch of stuff, and then filled my bag again.
We'll have to go
Well,
in.
but
We'll have to
Epic
go
has
in.
like a bunch of
We'll have to go to
cool
Epic.
art
We'll just
art
jump to Epic.
pieces. And
Okay.
so that's
Yeah,
why they
Epic's the
have
place to
thing.
go. Yeah, the art thing is because what they did is they were literally the Pokestops are just cool things to put in a picture.
Yeah.
And
And
so
Epic has a ton of that stuff.
If there's one thing Epic has oodles of, it's ridiculous art that you want pictures of. And so,
It's so much fun.
everything's a Pokestop.
And
So-
the other thing is I've gotten 27,000 steps the last 2 days, which is double my weekly step count.
That's
Yeah.
good though.
And you got it in 2 days.
There
It
is
is
the
good.
joke going around about Michelle Obama striving for 8
8 years to get America to be healthy, and Pokemon Go did 8 hours.
A lot of my friends have walked
ridiculous.
an insane
It is
amount of
ridiculous.
steps, and
Yeah.
they're it's crazy. You're level 5, Andy. You said
I'm not level 5 yet.
You're almost-
you
you're
can't gym up
working
yet.
your way.
But as part of my Pokemon Go story, I received my first injury.
Your first injury? When
My
did
first-
you walk into
my first-
traffic?
My first Pokemon Go injury. So last night after the event, after the UFC event, when you
Yeah.
were driving home and you saw me just randomly in the street,
Yeah.
which was funny though too. 'Cause it was like 12:30 at night,
Yeah.
and I saw Brian drive by because he's coming back home from Cedar Rapids. And Brian
Right.
just kind of I see him looking at me. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Technically, I actually didn't see you. I
Oh.
slowed down for the Pokestop. So if you were in the street dying, I wouldn't have noticed you. I knew you were there. I knew there was a Pokestop there.
Yeah, that's where I did it. Is I went to the Pokestop and I saw there were some rustling of leaves down the way, and there were some in the actual park there. And I'm like, oh, I'll go wander around for a little bit. Pitch black in that
Yeah,
park.
the park has no light.
Has no light in it whatsoever. So even if I wasn't staring at my fucking phone,
Which you were.
which I was, I walked straight into a bench.
There's only one bench.
I found it with my shin. Do you guys want to see it?
I trust you.
Okay,
No, I'm going to show it to you.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gross. Don't
gross.
do that.
Not that bad.
Oh, that's pretty gross.
He did find it.
That's pretty bad.
Found it real good.
Oh.
That hurt like a mother.
When we were in Des Moines, we were at a Tasty Taco, which Travis loves. Or not Travis, Keith loves.
Keith loves.
You probably
I'm
love
like,
too.
okay.
And we're in there, and I'm like, I look at my phone, and I'm like, man, there's there's a really scary guy, but there's a Pokemon next to him. I'm like, I wanted to go over and swipe at the Pokemon, but the guy was right there, so I'm like, Keith, there's a Pokemon to your left in the chair. It's a scary guy, but we let it go. And then we're in a covers on the way back. I'm like, dudes, there's 2 Pokemons in the girls' bathroom, and we're all like, just looking. I'm like, no. So sometimes our Pokemon are so close, but yet in a place you just can't
Don't
go.
be the creep.
I was wandering.
Don't be the creep.
I wandered into someone's backyard, and Katie made me stop.
Don't trespass. Don't be the creep. Don't
That's
trespass.
because to get to the
Be
backyard,
aware.
You have to go it wasn't like we were in the
You could
park.
just step into the
You could just
backyard.
step in the
You could step
backyard.
in
You
the
have to
backyard.
creep around the side of their house. and
Yeah,
into the
don't be a
backyard.
creeper. Don't be a
I feel like that game
trespasser.
makes you a creep. Okay, so first of all, there's a Pokestop at the park that's directly on the one block between
Yep.
Brian and I. Literally, every time I drive by it now, I pull my car over at the park, and I'm on my phone, and I realized Katie was having trouble having her phone load, and I said, Katie, it looks like we're creepily staring at the kids at the park right now.
I was
Uh-huh.
watching the kids
And
at
then,
the park while my phone was
and
loading.
I've walked or driven by that spot many times these last 2 days for no reason. I mean, I just happened to be there. I've seen so many cars stop at that
Yeah.
park, and I'm just like, this has got to be creepy as crap
No,
for
there's-
like parents and kids.
It's even worse than that. Now imagine if you're a minority and not a white male.
Yeah.
In this environment where there's
There were
people-
2 black guys in a car that pulled up to the park.
They've active. There's posts on Gizmodo or something like that. That is a guy's like he had to stop playing because he's worried that he'll get shot playing Pokemon Go because he's a black guy wandering around in front of a house 3 or 4 times trying to
Parks,
find this damn Pokemon.
parks, churches.
Exactly.
Well,
No, people are worried about
That'll
it.
be a problem at our park because we
Not
have
at our
black
park.
people in our park.
Yeah, our neighborhood, but some
But
neighborhoods
for
not so
some,
much.
yeah, like it's not.
Yeah.
like in
Our environments are
Waukesha,
maybe, but it's just like the whole aspect where you think about the environment that they developed this game in.
Yeah.
If it's in Japan, like a vast majority of the people are Japanese in Japan, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like
What?
I don't know what the minority breakdown is, but it's like you're expecting a majority to be doing the thing. In America,
but
the
this
minorities
company-
are different. Like the racial makeup is much different than in
That's
Japan.
true, but this company made a game, and I'm forgetting the name of it right now. Ingress, which is incredibly
Yep.
popular in the States. And people get together in groups of 60 to wander all
Yep.
over a given state in Ingress right now, today, in the U.S. And so, like, they have to have some understanding of how a geocache game like this works.
They don't have anything like in high schools or like middle schools.
The
There are
issue
no
is the
there are no
locations.
stops. They have dead zones with the skis games. You can't go to like a preschool. There's not going to be a stop in a preschool.
But they're regularly putting them in churches,
And
and I have seen them
Yeah.
near schools, not in schools, but like there's one across the street from the school just down the street.
that's the
from us.
closest one I've seen. But
That's
yeah,
pretty
But there's a
close.
park there, though. That's how I think
There's
it
a
is.
sign that's pretty across the street from the school.
I
and the
wonder if
sign
it's
is a Pokestop.
I wonder if it's the landmark,
it's a landmark.
the physical landmark.
Well, what's
Yeah.
interesting, I think I talked to you about this, and also the Des Moines guys did this. They went down to the capitals in special places like big aquariums,
Yep.
anywhere special
Yep.
have a higher chance of rare things. So like
Yep.
the Des Moines guys went down to the Capitol. I was in the Capitol building for the first time in my life in Madison.
Exactly. It's,
Today.
You don't go to a
Just-
place that. Oh, so Darnon's saying that the nodes from Pokemon Go
Are
are
lifted from
literally
Ingress. That
from
makes sense.
Ingress.
They're gonna they lifted it from Ingress, and it's gonna create it'll change based on the data people using
Yeah.
it. So things will change and modify and move around
Did-
based on usage.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the posting with the picture of a sign inside a store that says Pokemon are for
paying
customers
only?
Yeah,
There's
it's like a
another
thing.
one of a sign with a Pokeball in the center, and then it's saying, "We value that you're an employee here, but this is not your time to play Pokemon Go. If you wish to play Pokemon Go, you can find other employment."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Fair.
because like
'Cause
it-
people just
at
suck.
Epic, it's
Yeah.
a huge problem. Like Epic on Friday, the game. I didn't download it on Friday. I waited till
Yeah.
Saturday, but on Friday, literally, I walked to lunch outside,
Yep.
and the entire campus was out walking. 10,000 employees had stopped working and were wandering the campus.
Well, when you have that many nodes, if you
Yeah.
saw that game and you realize if you
Yeah.
and you
Also,
go
you did download it on Friday.
oh, I guess I did, but I didn't play it at all.
After work or before work?
It was after work.
After work.
I was meeting a friend.
Yeah, but like, but yeah, that's right. I was sitting there with the two of them. I was like, "This is boring. I want to download
She
Pokemon
was
Go."
working there, but she was just hanging out there. Otherwise, I would not have invited Jeremy.
Yeah, that's a fact. But it's fine. But
Oh, because
anyway,
you invited him to hang out
To
with
hang
him
out.
Yeah.
instead. Yeah,
Instead she wanted to hang
That's
out.
funny.
But like, there's
Nice-
literally
nice
people
job
at
on the third
Epic.
wheel.
There's a bunch of people at Epic that have a Pokestop that they can trigger at
From
their
their
desk.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Like those people are going to literally be just every 5 minutes on Pokemon Go till their bag's full. Then they're going to walk around for an hour till their bag's empty, and then they're going to sit at their desk for an hour filling up their bag.
Yeah, but can their batteries handle it? Because
Yeah, I keep
Yeah,
it charged.
yeah,
if you keep
I
it
keep a
charged,
charging cord at work.
There are
so,
3
so the hour I'm at my
Pokestop
desk,
fires at work,
I'm
too.
charging my battery and filling my bag.
Yeah.
Then I unplug. I go for an hour-long walk. I catch a bunch of Pokemon. I go back to my desk. I plug it in, and I fill up my bag for an hour. Like, that's what's going to happen with a lot of Epic employees.
Yeah.
The day after most big video games come out, Epic sees excessive amounts of sick use.
sure.
Like,
Well,
So
that's
did
because
Fallout
they
4
hire
cause
a
like
that?
on the
bunch
orders
like,
of thousands of people call out sick when like a WoW expansion drops.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't
it's just-
surprise me. It's
a bunch
software.
of 21-year-olds.
Yeah, it's
well, they
software.
hire people straight out of college that are also nerds. And so you have a bunch of 21, 22, 23-year-old nerds
That are all interested in the same
things. Yeah. Like we went to campus because it's the Mecca, and literally there's just on Saturday and Sunday there were hordes of people wandering the campus and like grouping up into packs based on color. Like we would walk by and they're like, "Hey, what team are you?" I'm like, "Team Blue." Like, get fucked. Like I walk up to the next group and they're like, "Hey, what team are you?" "Team Blue." "Yeah, you want to come walk around with us?" like just wandering around in these groups of like 10 or 15 crushing gyms. It's like, oh my god.
I think it'll die down though. People get you.
Yeah.
And then
No,
there's me,
people-
and I
people
don't
get
know
bored.
Pokemon. Like,
People
I don't
get bored.
know
Yeah,
anything.
Brian doesn't know anything about Pokemon.
I'm
He's
like,
never
I don't know
played
what
it.
evolves into water. What's
Well,
water?
it's
I don't know what a Wiggle is or Smeagol or Deagle.
I'm a
You
huge
two are in
Pokemon
the
nerd.
same generation. They're
Yeah.
the opposite. They're the
Well, no,
generation
like I know
X.
people Brian's
He's
age
in
that
the
play.
middle.
I'm in the middle. I'm
Yeah.
35.
Okay, so you're older than I am.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon Red and Blue were my childhood.
Yeah, Red, Blue,
So-
and, Red, Blue, and Yellow came
Yellow
out.
came out after
Red, Blue,
I
and
was
Yellow-
Yellow was the first one I had.
Yellow came out when I was in college.
Yeah,
Red
Yellow
Blue
was
came
like
out when I was
Red
like
and Blue.
in high school.
Yep.
When the
I was in
White
middle school when those came out. Yeah,
like after Brian and I were
yeah,
done.
you guys are past that.
If I would have had a Nintendo Wii maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I know that there's a new one that came out. The Wii people just not the Wii, but the handheld.
The handheld. Katie and I bought the handheld just for that game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I make enough money that
Yeah.
it's cheap handheld
Yeah.
and whatever. But like, I wouldn't have fallen into the games. But what it was my freshman year. I hadn't played them at all. My freshman year of college, I came home from college, and one of my brothers, who are 11, 13, and 15 years younger than me,
Which are all playing them.
well, the
Yeah.
one 11 years,
Yeah.
the one that was 13 years younger than me, said, "Hey, Jeremy, I'm stuck on this game," and I was like, "Oh, here, I'll help you out,
Yeah.
buddy."
And
then
they got
like,
addicted.
and I was home for a week, and I beat the game, and I was like, "Here, I caught all the Pokemon."
No, because you think about it, the game has multiple things for it. It's a traditional RPG with a collection aspect to
Yup.
it that makes it like it hits both sides. You
It
can
does.
easily be like, "Hey,
And
I'm
they're
gonna."
so cute.
There's
I read
that
an
as
article.
well.
They might even
There's
add the
definitely that.
turn-based combat as a future upgrade. They might even add because
Yeah.
the combat's pretty generic. But
A lot of
they
people
may
are
go-
asking to be
If
able
they
to
add a
battle
battle,
friends.
if they have a battle feature that'll keep its longevity, that's the issue right now. Is
Yeah.
the
The
if
gyms
they
are
don't have
buggy.
anything going forward.
The
they
gyms are
need
buggy.
something.
They don't have trade. They've said they're going to initiate trading, but they haven't got trading yet. So the gyms are buggy. You can't fight other people, and trading's not in it yet. And so, like, while you
Once
can have that
And
community
the
a little
servers
bit,
are still
the
up
servers
and
are still
down.
up and down a little bit too.
They need to fix all of those things, and then I'm interested in hearing what they're going to do, because I'm sure a lot of businesses are going to be pushing for them to enable them to either purchase
A Pokestop or
Pokestops
something.
gym
Yeah.
or lures, like
Yeah.
a continual purchase
Yeah.
on lure for like advertisement.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason not to. Ben
I'll go sit-
from Misty Mountain was saying
Yeah.
he kept popping a lure in his store because it's worthwhile.
Because it's worthwhile. People
Will
come into the
Pagani was
store
doing the
just
same
for the
thing
lure.
in Asgard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just kept hitting the lure.
Yeah,
because there's no reason not to.
He has a Pokestop outside his store. He just lures it like every half hour,
Yeah.
and people come into the store to
Yeah, because it's you're basically getting the same
demographic
business. No, it's the business that.
Yeah.
It's the why am I forgetting the word of it now? It's the when you walk by something, you're the impulse buys.
Impulse buys, yeah.
It's you're getting people to walk by your store.
Yeah.
If half of them look up and go, "Hey, look, I like that store," and they go in and buy something, advertisement.
And
free.
when you're a game store, like you
Yeah,
fit
it
right
works.
into that. niche.
Yeah.
Right. Also, it's really fun.
I'm just sitting here staring at my Pokemon Goes.
But like that's the thing is Katie and I literally like okay, so she hadn't downloaded it yet Saturday morning, and so I was like, oh, you should check it out. So she downloaded it. She's like, oh, we should go for a walk.
And
So
then
we
you guys
walked
never
around-
discussed
so we
the
walked
team
around-
at that point.
No, we did.
Well, we did. He wanted me to be on the same team, but I liked yellow.
She liked yellow.
Because
No, you
I
got beat
agreed
by
with
the color choice,
his,
Jared.
well, no, yellow's an awful color.
Then why did you pick
She
yellow?
liked his.
What they
I
say
like
doesn't
the
matter.
spiel.
That spiel
Oh.
is irrelevant.
Spiel is irrelevant
Well,
to me, but
they
not to
had
her.
the spiel, and so I bought into the spiel.
You got swayed by
She
the
got swayed by the
persuasion
by
of
the
voice.
trainer's spiel. That's like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
So
The most generic 3-sentence
I
spiel to read in your
know.
life. Team
So-
Yellow is good because
Katie
we're
and I
yellow.
walked-
I like that.
We walked for an hour or two around the neighborhood, and then we were hooked. And then we were like, well, we have to drive somewhere now. And I was like, well, I heard Epic's got great stuff. And she's like, no, let's go to the Arboretum. And I was like, great. So we drove to the Arboretum, which had 6 Pokestops and 2 gyms. So we did that for a while.
Yep.
And then we were like, well, this was fun, but our batteries are dying. We drove home, we charged our phones,
And then
we
went
drove
back
to
out.
Epic, walked around until our phones died a second time,
Yep.
went home, charged our phones, and then we were like, you know what we should do? We should take the dogs for a walk. No reason. And
Go to
then
the
we
dog
walked
park,
the dogs
yeah.
around for like another hour
course,
until
yeah.
our phones died.
To be fair, we didn't walk them earlier because they are at daycare. Otherwise, we would have walked.
We would have walked them then. Today, we went to Epic for so long that Arya, have you met Arya yet?
I have not. I haven't
So,
been to your house.
Arya, you need to meet
I
Arya.
have been to your guys' house.
You have.
Have you guys got a new dog since?
She's the little brown puppy, the light brown. I don't know if we had her yet when you came
Yeah,
over last
she
time.
would've
I
been
don't-
Really tiny.
She was
Don't
really
think
small
so.
when you would have been there.
I don't think so.
At any rate, so she's a ball of energy who's hyper
Yep.
always.
Yep.
She was so tired from walking around Epic today that we got home and she laid on the couch of her own accord. She was like, I'm done. Please stop making me walk.
Well, we had just come from agility class too. I was really upset with you guys for walking without me.
You chose to go to a class.
I paid for it. I gotta go.
But
She
yeah,
really liked it.
I'm really enjoying Pokemon Go. And I personally will probably keep playing it for a long time
Yeah.
because I have the advantage that a lot of people don't, that even if all I do at work is go for a 1 hour walk, I can fill up on Pokestops in an
And
hour.
then
Well, you
go to
can
a
go
walk.
for a 1 hour walk.
And I can go for a 1 hour
Yeah,
walk.
some
I'm
jobs
pretty sure
can't.
there's a Pokestop. There's 2 Pokestops right near them. It's either right to my desk, or I can like walk for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they are right
swipe
next
it.
to your work.
Yeah, they're right. They're 2 around my work and a
But
gym.
like Keith, so Keith has just like tons of plates, free time, but he's out of Pokeballs completely because there are a lot of Pokemon near him, even some rare
But
ones.
no stops.
I caught a ride on near his house today. That was pretty hot stuff. But anyway, but there's 2 nodes, but they're like a significant walk, and they're a significant walk from each other. It's not like you can walk, get them both, walk
And walk
home.
back, yeah.
And so like he's like, well, I just don't have. I was like, just go to Epic for an hour, man,
And get all of
and
them,
fill
yeah.
your bag, and then go home,
or
or
go
downtown.
downtown.
or
Yeah,
go downtown.
Yeah, take
or-
her in her little cart downtown.
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, do they allow kids on Epic's campus?" I was like, "Yeah, you don't work there. It's just open to the
Yeah.
public. Just walk through."
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's outside, they're not.
It's
gonna
literally
prohibit you.
outside. They're not
Yeah.
going to do anything to you. But like a lot of people, like I understand where he's coming from. If you don't work for Epic and you haven't
It
ever
feels
asked an
awkward.
Epic employee,
Feels awkward.
it feels awkward, and also you don't know like it's this big mega company. They must have some sort of security
They
or a
don't.
gate
But
or something.
It's like, for example, Harley Davidson, the Juneau campus has a gate around it.
Yeah.
So it's like you expect, if that's your
Yeah.
view of big business, of
Yeah.
a big corporation is going to have that
it's
building
weird
under
that Epic,
security.
It is a little
and
weird
then
that
they
Epic
don't.
doesn't.
I
Well,
think
but
you
it's
could
in the
live in
middle of
Epic.
Verona.
I think
You
You could,
some,
yeah,
it's-
Brian and I were talking about it. You could easily live at Epic.
If I got homeless, I think I could probably live there the winter and get away with it. I think it's so big.
You could hide out enough.
Five,
even-
5 days a week, all the doors are unlocked.
Okay.
There are showers. There are lockers.
You could definitely I
There's-
bet if you were like paying attention to where you were sleeping, I bet you
Yep.
could get away with it.
Yeah, because you could just go into someone's office after hours.
Yeah.
And like the cleaning crew's done by 8.
Yeah, you just have
You
to
could
work
sleep
till past.
anywhere. Just
You-
wait till after that, and then go. A lot of people have couches in their offices.
Yeah.
Cafeteria, you just write down your
The cafeteria has a system where you can write down what your ID is to pay for things, and you could just write down random IDs for a year and never get caught as long as you change it.
Yeah, you constantly just changing the number.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like
Well, because how many Epic employees actually check to make sure that what they've been charged for that month?
no one.
Yeah.
No
you-
one. In
would
fact, I
just-
know a lot of employees that got in trouble because they were writing down there was someone at the coffee cart in Tokay that for like
Yeah.
a year wrote down the wrong number because they like misremembered their ID, like
Yeah.
they were transposing 2 numbers.
Yep.
And finally they were like, you owe this person like a lot of money. 'Cause
Yeah.
you go to the coffee cart every day. Like,
This is not an expensive habit. Why doesn't everybody do this?
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
I think as long
That's
as you're
super
clean
funny.
shaven and just dressed like a 22-year-old, nobody would care.
As long as you don't look like a slob, you
Yeah.
could probably get away
and like I
with
said,
it.
there's
Yeah,
showers and
absolutely.
lockers and stuff. So like, not a problem.
There's a person that does that at Google. I don't know if he hired or bought a truck and basically put a bedroom in the back of the
Yeah.
truck and just
Which
parked
they
it
also
on-
do.
and
There's
just
no rule you
parked it
can't
on
just leave
this-
a car in the garage forever.
Yeah, and so he just parks it, and then when he needs to sleep, he goes there.
Yeah.
And then Google Campus have showers.
Yeah.
They have the cafeteria on both or all 3 meals.
We have a
You
laundromat
basically
on our
live-
campus, so you could literally like
You could do everything then. Yeah.
You can't like there's not a washer dryer, but you could just dry clean your clothes theoretically.
Off of somebody else's ID.
Probably. I've never used the laundromat. I don't know if you can put your.
But there's
ID
the
in.
aspect of if you needed to do it off your own ID, you could.
Yeah.
You could afford to. You
Right.
could do everything
Well,
off
you
your
could
own.
also- I mean, you could also just buy a box of soap.
and just do it in the shower.
Yeah.
Do it in the shower.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
plenty
dry.
of methods of doing it. Like, or because you have a vehicle, you could still drive and get. Yeah, let in the
go
light. Holy
like
crap.
use a dryer.
And
Sorry.
yeah, just go to a laundromat and
That's okay.
get a
Well,
laundromat
laundromats
and do
could be
that.
expensive. I mean, if you're homeless, if you're homeless, and you're living at Epic. You're probably not begging a whole lot during the day, unless you're just gone.
But you're
during the day.
working at Epic. Are you saying?
we're saying
okay,
truly homeless.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Truly homeless.
I was going from the idea of
No,
you
no. We're
working
saying
there.
like,
You
I
could
lost
live
my
there.
job tomorrow.
Oh,
I would
homeless
live
at
on the
Epic.
Epic campus.
Yeah, you could. Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Wait.
saying.
You have a house.
Right, but if I lost my job, I
If
have
Jeremy
somebody
lost
for it.
his job, he's out. I mean, that's guaranteed.
Katie would not let me stay there rent free.
I told him that at the beginning.
So how many days before your rent runs out?
It's always just one day away.
Just one day. Holy shit!
That's being generous.
I think it would take her 24 hours to notice that I wasn't going to work anymore. Maybe
Well, you could lie to me for.
I could lie to her for weeks.
Just wait till a
You
game
could lie to
release.
me for weeks.
No,
No, I would figure it out within a week.
that I wasn't going to work.
See, now we have to experiment.
Well, I work from home.
Oh yeah, that would make it
You would
harder.
have to-
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
I was
morning,
gonna
it's
say.
like, go over.
I could leave in the morning.
It's like I got all these
I
Pokemon.
check all of our bank accounts.
You do. You check
I
all
would
our.
notice as soon as that.
As soon as the paycheck
did.
didn't hit.
didn't hit, I would know something was up.
Oh, I'm sure every day she's like she checks that thing, make sure. The
Oh no, I'll be like out. Like I'll be at a gas station or something. And my phone will ring, and it'll be Katie. And she's like, "Do you know what this charge for $23 from 3 Thursdays ago was?" I'm like, no.
Well, I just want to make sure it's legitimate.
She's like, I don't know that it's legitimate. I was like,
It's legitimate.
it's probably legitimate.
My wife's checked that as well.
Yeah.
And she's caught one.
Yeah, Katie's
and I was
caught stuff.
surprised that she
Katie's
caught one.
caught stuff.
I thought you said your wife's.
I heard wife.
I had to not say Katie because my wife's name is Katie. I'm like, I didn't want to
And that
confuse the
was-
two, so I
Yeah.
said my wife.
Yeah,
I also do your finances.
No.
Log in. Travis, what are you spending money on?
Not much.
Anyway, Pokemon Go's amazing. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, you should get it. And at least, I mean, because we spent $5 each to get an additional incubator, but you don't need to.
You don't need to. We thought you had to, but it turns out there's a free incubator. We just didn't know how to use it.
Okay.
And we walked around the whole. It was a day's worth of entertainment. So even if you just spend $5 on it
Yeah,
to get,
it was already worth it.
something.
If you're gonna go for a walk, I mean, if you're gonna do a walk,
No, it's the locals. My local
Watch.
RPG group. They're doing a run for Gen Con because there's the Gen Con Orc Stomp, I think it's called, or something like that.
Okay.
They're prepping for the run.
Yeah.
Well, the park that they go to is now just littered with Pokemon stuff.
yep.
So they're like, I'm no longer running for this event at Gen Con. I'm running because there's a whole bunch of Pokemon stops
Well,
on the
but you
route.
can't run and get stuff at the same
You
time.
can.
Run, stop, run, stop.
You can though,
run,
because
stop.
also running's not fast enough that it doesn't trigger. Because
Well, I know,
if you're
but you can't-
driving
it'd be
5 or 10
hard
miles
to
an hour,
run
you're good.
and do this.
There's
Yeah,
also the
that's
issue that they didn't make the GPS piggyback other
Yeah.
GPS. That it either is the Pokemon Go app or
Yeah.
your other running app.
Yeah, you can't run both.
You can't run
You
both.
can't run
So
both.
if you're trying to do like a plan of I'm going to run this far and you have some like other
Yeah,
app that
that won't
controls
work.
that, it doesn't work.
The
So like your
Pokemon app-
thing will still say like, hey, you only walked half a kilometer out of the 5
That's why
kilometers you
you
need.
have to get a Fitbit. Separate
Then you
device.
can exactly
There you go.
exactly.
Although this doesn't tell you how fast to run and when to stop running and walk, so that's...
The more fancy Fitbits do.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a Fitbit that has a whole exercise
Spend more
curriculum.
money on a Fitbit so that you can play Pokemon
Go and go more for
Yeah.
the free game to get
the
better.
free game.
Yeah, the free game.
Yep. I
It's really fun.
like I know Jay Larson's already asked. Like he's waiting for the figure for advertisement so he can
Oh,
put
yeah.
a Pokemon shop in his
Putting
store.
a gym in your
Yeah.
store would
Yeah,
be a
he's-
big deal.
Like
every game store in Madison has had an automatic Pokestop.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Misty's got one at the subway just down like right
Okay.
around the corner.
No, Misty is a Pokestop, so
No,
because
Misty is a
they're
Pokestop,
outside of.
but there's a gym at the subway.
yeah, I think it'll be Pokestops, so because that gets people. I think Pokestops are almost.
I think
exciting.
gyms are going to long term be something that people are big that are
Yeah.
big for people.
But it'll be
because
interesting
you
to
want to
see
sit
people
at a
pay
gym
for
for a
them.
while battling,
Yeah.
and so it'll be pulling more people in that way.
It'll be interesting to see if they do something like Hearthstone where they had the campfire or
firesides.
the fireside,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And they do something like that with the game because it's like
Yeah.
that's the next logical progression is
Yep.
hey, you've got all these people meeting up,
Yeah, let them
let them do
It
something.
would be nice if they would actually tie the app into other, like,
Pedometers, yeah.
pedometer apps, because you have to have the game running in order to get the steps to count towards eggs hatching.
Yep.
Right.
But it takes up so much battery that, like, you can't.
You can't do multiple things. With
Yeah,
it,
you
No.
can't. Or they need to make it so it doesn't take up. so
You
much
just
effective
buy a
battery.
battery pack and take it with
I
you.
did take
You
a look
could
at
do
the
that,
settings in here. There is a battery saver.
Yeah, the way the
setting.
battery
It
saver
is.
modes is if you turn the phone upside down, it blacks the screen out, but still tracks everything, and it will
Oh.
vibrate if there's a Pokemon.
Okay.
Okay, if there's a catchable Pokemon, it'll vibrate. The problem is that works fine for Brian and Katie. When I activate mine, my screen freezes and I can't catch anything. So like, there's still a few
phone
bugs.
models.
Yeah.
Do you have a different phone model than either of these
Brian
two?
and I both have droids, but they're different models,
And I have an iPhone.
and she has an iPhone.
So that is most
Like,
likely your
it is
phone
most,
brand.
Yeah, most likely. But the point is, like, the battery saver
still-
app.
yeah,
there's still some tweaks to be made.
Yeah. No, it's,
But-
you look at the same thing that happened. I'm going to bring up the War Machine thing again, but War Room.
Yeah.
Device fragmentation is a thing.
Is a huge problem,
And you're experiencing it exactly.
Yeah, but like
right
I
now.
would very much like to see, just like for me, like Marshall and Keith are both really upset that you don't get to battle wild Pokemon to
Yep.
make them easier to catch.
Yep.
To me, that's not as big a deal. What's a big deal to me is I want to be able to fight with my 5 Pokemon versus
someone
your
else's.
5 Pokemon.
Right.
Because like my little brothers and I, like when I would play, like that was the big thing. Is I'd come back from school and they'd have all max level Pokemon
Yeah.
and be like, "Let's fight!"
Yeah.
And like that's what I would like to see.
Well, I think it's gonna get there.
I think
think
some
it will.
people want to play the game like the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the
and
battling
'cause some
wild-
people want to be Ash Ketchum, and some people want to be a gym leader.
Correct.
I'm perfectly happy being a gym leader.
Yeah.
But most people prefer to be Ash
Yeah,
Ketchum.
I like
Yeah.
feeling like I'm Ash and I can go wander around. Except for I must be Misty, his little friend.
Yeah, you missed it.
Who's Ash?
Ash is the main character.
You
He's the
got
one that has
Ash,
a peak.
Brock.
Ash, well, yeah, so he fights
know
the
who
Evil
Pikachu
Dead.
is?
Is it
No.
Evil Dead 2 or Evil
No.
You
Dead?
know who Pikachu is?
He's like, I'm
Pika Pika.
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
He's Ash is the kid that Pikachu falls
And
around.
who has the Dragon Ball?
That's a different thing.
That's
The
Goku.
one with the yellow hair.
That's Son Goku.
Okay,
It
and
is
when
Son
do
Goku.
they fight?
No.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Well,
Because they would wonder what the hell
same
Poo-
haircut, right?
They would wonder
They do
what
kind of all have
Pikachu
the
was
same
doing
haircut.
if Pikachu managed to get glow
But actually
around
the
him,
hat.
and they would think he went Super Saiyan.
They would.
Then Goku just punch him and kill him. Just whoosh.
You can't kill Pikachu.
If they thought he was Super Saiyan, they just punch him and he'd explode.
Okay, so if you haven't downloaded the game yet, I found out today that you can get Pikachu as your starting Pokemon, and my mind exploded. I was tempted to reinstall the game. I was so upset.
And you just threw a pencil.
Right? You're still low level. You
shock.
could restart. You could uninstall
Yeah.
and reinstall the app.
No, I've got a snore thingy.
Snorlax?
You have a Snorlax?
No,
If you have a Snorlax, I'm going to kill you and steal your phone.
I was drawing.
Brian has a Ponyta.
I
I'm
know.
so jealous.
I
I saw
know.
a Pokechew. It
He's gonna star
I
you,
was,
too.
I was,
I love
I-
Pikachu.
Yeah, I was 3 steps away from a Poke thingy.
I was-
Pikachu?
Yeah,
a couple
Pikachu.
steps. I saw the outline, but I was like.
I got an
going somewhere.
Electabuzz, which was exciting, but it's no Pikachu. But my point is,
I still don't
so it
understand the
prevents
words.
you the 3 starting Pokemon,
A
and they're just all
Drowsy.
around you. Drowsy. I have a Drowsy. Okay.
Yeah, there's some drowsy
Okay, I'm
people
less
in our
upset.
house.
If you had a Snorlax, Snorlax
I got a
is
seal.
so there's like 6
How'd you
super
get a
rare.
seal?
I got 2 seals.
I know.
There's like 6 super rare Pokemon in the game, and the Snorlax is one of them. Like they're super uber rare.
My snoozable Google is pretty good.
Snoozable.
Snorlax was always. I can't. I feel like
He was a one-off in the game.
Yeah.
You met him once, and if you did not catch him, you could not catch Snorlax.
and he would disappear.
Yeah, you got like one
Yeah.
shot, and then you'd run away. If you didn't have a Master Ball, you were screwed.
See, what are those
Well,
things
no,
that
you
evolve
didn't
into
need a
different
Master
things?
Ball to
You had like
catch
the
them.
random
Did I
evolves.
say Master Ball?
You didn't
Are
say
you
Master
guys?
Ball.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware of Pokemon Go Plus?
I didn't know it was a thing. What's that?
It's $35,
What?
and
You
it's
get,
the
like, a
ability
little-
to catch Pokemon and collect from stops without using your phone.
Yeah, it's got like a little. It's got
it looks like, okay. It looks like the nerdiest, dorkiest little pin, and
Yeah.
you put it here. But you can like, it's got a couple of buttons, so you can collect Pokestops and throw balls.
But
And it
that
just-
saves a whole bunch of battery life on your
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, but that's not what I want.
Yeah, I know.
I want
I
more
understand.
convenience
I
for me.
understand.
I need the free game to really accommodate my needs.
Snorlax is amazing, Tori.
I just saw Travis's phone. If I had that many Twitter and updates, I would literally break the phone in half and just give up on it.
But anyway, Andy,
Those
in
can
case
be
you want to
valuable
uninstall and
updates. It's on my
reinstall,
phone.
or in case any of our listeners have not yet installed the game, you know at the very beginning it shows you Charmander,
Somewhere.
Bulbasaur, and
Squirtle.
Squirtle. And
Squirtle
it's like
is the
click
best.
one of them. If you walk away, they reappear near you. You walk away again, they reappear near you. You walk away a 4th time, and Pikachu shows up as an option.
No, I can't do that to Squirtle. I have to take him.
I also chose Squirtle. Good choice.
yeah.
I chose Charmander because obvious winner.
I have no
No.
idea what I picked.
Yeah, open it up. We can find out what it is.
It's probably
I had-
Squirtle.
I couldn't
I
do
want
that to
to
Squirtle.
wait
because
until
Squirtle's
next
so
week
awesome.
to send Nathan a picture if he can figure out what it is.
What are your Pokemon?
The problem is Squirtle turns into Blastoise,
Which is
a
amazing.
huge cannon on
So
its
is
back
Bulbasaur.
and is not cute.
Blastoise
So
is
that's
amazing.
why he doesn't get picked.
I love Squirtle.
Blastoise isn't cute.
Blastoise is amazing.
Blastoise
And it's-
is pretty
and
damn
Blastoise is more attractive than Venusaur, which is what Bulbasaur turns into. That's just the ugly big thing with the big flower on its back.
I like
That's
Goldblot's.
still
He's
pretty.
kind of adorable.
But
Now,
Charmander-
Charizard is hot.
Charizard is
Yeah.
hot. Yeah, I agree. Charizard's amazing.
A
I actually
pun.
thought it would be easier to catch. Yeah,
A pun was made.
I thought it would be easier to catch Charizard and the other basic Pokemon later.
Charizard was
But the
hot.
only one I've
His
seen
tail's
in the
on
real
fire.
world is actually Squirtle, which makes me
Is it a
sad.
pun?
Is-
I don't know what that's called.
If
Is that a
his-
pun?
If his tail goes out, he dies.
That's true. Charmander.
So he is definitely by nature hot.
He is by
Yeah.
nature hot.
Well, his tail. Is the-
Sure, but his tail is him.
Is he warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
I guess
I'm-
I assumed warm-blooded.
I'm just gonna Google it.
All right, next
Anyway,
topic.
No,
Next topic.
I'm sure that there's legitimately been
I'm
answered.
sure
No,
it's been legitimately asked for. Do we have any other more topics that we want to talk about tonight?
What else is next, people? Well, I don't know.
I mean, we've talked about Mark III a bit. Like, I don't mind talking about some more Mark III stuff.
No.
But
have you played any War Machine, Travis? You just dealing with rule things constantly. And have you killed anyone?
I've not killed anyone yet.
that's a plus.
I've
It's
played.
like-
Travis had the best line ever. On
Which line was that?
I know which one he means.
which is please don't be passive aggressive on the forums.
on the rules forum
On the
specifically.
rules forum.
He's okay with
was-
it on other forums,
The
just
thing
not
was,
the rules
I
forum.
wasn't passive aggressive.
No,
when I
you
said
said
that.
that. No, you said.
I've
Please
been,
don't.
I've been, like, people have come out and said, Travis, why were you passive aggressive in your passive aggressive post? I'm like, no, that wasn't.
That wasn't.
If you know me,
Correct.
if you know me, it wasn't passive aggressive.
Travis is aggressive. He doesn't believe in passive
Vulcan's-
aggressive.
That's not
Vulcan's-
passive aggressive.
can't
is.
do that.
Telling
Like, it wasn't
somebody
even
exactly
aggressive.
what you want them to do is the opposite of passive aggressive.
Right? Stop doing this thing, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's really passive aggressive.
Is it really? That's amazing, isn't it? Like, It's just amazing that people.
It is definitely
just
regional,
love it.
Nick, by the way. They've even stated online that the different types of Pokemon are A, in different places in the world, but also B, in different climates. So if you go near a lake, there will be more water Pokemon. If you're in like a grassy park, bug Pokemon and bird Pokemon, which is why near the park near us, they're just lousy with Pidgeys.
So are we going to see
Pidgeys and
migrations and the bugs disappear for winter and then
I
all
don't
the
think
ice
so,
I think
Pokemon
that
come
would
out?
be so neat.
Wouldn't that be
That
amazing
would be
if they
neat,
did
but
that?
I don't think so.
Because the other thing is when we went to the Arboretum, there all of a sudden there was like a lot more rabbits,
Yep.
the Nidorans, and
Yeah, the Nidorina, if you're interested in Nidorans, male and female, they're at the Arboretum off of Seminole.
I didn't see any.
Makes no
I was
sense
down
to
by the
me.
water park. There was a few more water things by the water park. There was still some other. I mean, it's not completely different.
It's not
but
completely, but it
there-
changes.
It does. Give
But
you-
like the Rhydon and the Keith caught a Geodude, there's like rock type Pokemon near Keith's house.
I would be interested in going out on the middle of Lake Winnebago and seeing, just circling and
looking
just
for
see
Pokemon.
if there's Pokemon anywhere on the body of water.
you know what was a little bit surreal?
Because that'd be
is
amazing.
When we were in the Arboretum, I could hear animals in like the things, but there were no Pokemon. So
And she was
I
very
don't-
confused.
It was like, it should be right here. I can hear them. They were not.
so you'll have this intense game in WTC. Somebody will be like, "Oh my God, there's a blah 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 1 foot away," and then the people like start wanting from.
Yeah, I literally had to turn my game off because, like, if there had been a 2-step away, I don't know, Charizard or something, like, I
Oh,
would
yeah,
have just
you would've
left in the
just
middle,
gone.
like, right in the middle of the podcast. I'd just been out of here. Been like, screw you guys, I have a Charizard to catch. Like, I was in the middle of my IKRPG section this afternoon, and a horsey was, like, 2 steps away from Keith's house, and I sat there, and I looked at the group, and I looked at
Why
I
don't
was
you just
like,
get up and walk out and
I was
get
like, I
it?
think I'm just going to go for 5
If it's
minutes.
3 steps, it's hard to find.
Yeah, but 2 steps, you know it's close.
Yeah.
And then it left, and I was so mad I hadn't gotten up and gone to get it.
You should, like, from what you described of your session, you should have just got up and
I
gone
should,
it.
yeah, well, there's that too.
Yeah.
You should just.
Yeah.
All right. Wrap
yeah.
this up.
Okay. What time is it?
Zappity Grumbles?
Oh,
Or
we go.
do we have any?
Do we have any Grumbles and
recommendations?
Zappies?
Chris asked
we had
one
Chris. We saw one for Chris.
about Helga having, I think it was
Why only two
why
bits?
she's 2, not more. As
She is a pig.
Yeah.
It's fair, but
They made the rest of the
she
armor
would be a
anatomically
sow.
correct.
Yeah.
Not just a pig, just a
Sorry,
sow.
you're right. A sow. I apologize.
But I'm sure that they made the rest of the armor anatomically correct. Because female armor doesn't technically have boob plate.
No, boot plate doesn't technically exist.
No.
Boob plate is actually more likely to get you killed if you're a female wearing armor. Because it directs the blows right to the center
Right
of
to
your
the
chest.
center of your chest.
You don't
which is
want that.
Terrible. That's true. Yeah, I figured.
Boob
What?
plate in boob plate in fantasy miniatures.
I don't know what that is.
It's armor that has boobs on it.
Armor that
Oh, boob.
boob plate.
Boob armor.
I thought
Like
you said-
these, but armor.
I thought you said boo, like the sound a ghost makes.
No.
Boo armor.
And I was like, I have no idea
What
that
does
is.
boo armor look like?
What does boo armor look like? Is it translucent?
I just had no idea.
It follows you when you look away from it.
Yeah.
That's what blue armor does.
You look down, you're
looking at
like,
it, it
am I
stops.
wearing it? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a ton of gas. It was kind of there's a ton of gas leaks around the Muse headquarters. That's just where the gas leaks all live.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
I can see somebody putting in complaints in that saying that the Pokemon around their business is not
No, conducive
not
for
worthwhile. It's like
Yeah.
all that's around my food establishment is Rattatas.
Yeah. Epic has a nice collection because there are places that are water and there are places that are not, which is nice. No real rock Pokemon on Epic.
Got a
It-
Psyduck there.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to like. That's the whole
I forgot
part
where
of
the
the
War Turtle
advertising
was, by the
thing.
way.
People are going to
Somebody
want
posted it on Yik Yak.
nice things
We could
around
drive
their
over there.
store,
No, I
and
can't. Well, I'll give
what's
you
going to
more
end
day.
up happening with that?
I have
It's
to
somewhere
walk-
you can drive to.
I have to walk another 15,000 steps tomorrow. I gotta call it a day. Today.
Well, you're going to Illinois. I'm like really curious to see what is near your parents' house.
I know.
Wait,
'cause they've got a ton.
when are you leaving for Illinois? Are we not playing Shadows tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I won't be there for shadows. tomorrow.
Oh man, Jordan's going to lose his
Jordan,
mind.
Jeremy, you are telling Jordan because
Jordan's
he is
gonna lose
already
his
he's already on the
mind.
edge.
Why? I'd like to
We
know why.
keep
We keep skipping shadows because Brian, like I had something, and then Katie had something, and like it's me and Katie and Brian and Jordan.
So you
Jordan's
lose
like-
one of you, you lose the
We
whole.
just
yeah.
stopped.
you know,
Yeah, we
And I do things 5 nights a week, so I'm okay canceling one night a week because I can stay home and do fucking nothing, or tomorrow walk around the town getting
You
Pokemon.
can play more War Machine in practice for WIT.
What you know what we could do is we could play three characters.
We could, but I don't want to. If someone's not there, I'm happy not playing.
Well, then you get to tell them.
No, you're telling them.
I offered to play 3
How
people.
about no
That's
one
not
tells them?
important. One.
You just don't.
How about
You don't
he
have to
just
tell.
wanders around on Monday and goes, "What are we not playing?"
Exactly.
status
You don't.
tonight?"
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't say anything, and then
Because
he
I
has
don't
to
live with him.
And then
so
he has to
yeah,
explain it
you'll
tomorrow.
explain it.
Passive
I'm gonna text
That
him.
is
That is
definitely
passive aggressive.
Thank you.
I'm texting him now.
The textbook definition is Brian just sitting there, on his computer, not looking up at him at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm texting him. I solved the problem.
Do we have any other Zappaties, or is that it?
That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
That was.
I have a recommendation. You should play
Pokemon
Pokemon Go.
I win.
I'm pretty sure one of you or both of you made the recommendation earlier.
Earlier, probably.
I think Katie did.
Yes.
You're not going to recommend the Pets movie?
The Pets movie was all right.
It was all right. It was cute, but it was not amazing.
It was no the last animated movie that was out there.
It was no.
What was the-
It was no
Zootopia?
Inside Out. It was no.
What was the coolest pet?
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
It was
so
no
amazing.
Zootopia. What was the coolest pet?
Well, you know what?
Honestly, the
I
rabbit.
think it was probably a better kids movie because sorry, I keep like
That's fine.
touching your leg.
Whatever.
Super okay with that.
Well, it was just a lot simpler. Like there was no hidden message or
Yeah.
agenda. It was just like a simple kids romp.
Oh,
So
so
it's kind of
it's
like a-
unlike
So it's
not
like a
Pixar.
DreamWorks
the
film.
kids' movies
Yeah.
that
That's what it is.
the adults are like, oh, I can just not pay attention at all
Yeah.
to this
Yeah.
because there's nothing for
It's not
them.
Pixar, so it
Versus-
wasn't
yeah.
actually a kids / adult movie.
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
just a kids
I
movie.
love Zootopia, but that movie is definitely has a theme, a very
Yeah.
strong theme. I mean, it's a good theme. You know, don't be mean to people.
It's
basically.
amazing,
but it's definitely heavy-handed in some ways.
Yeah, and like this one just was like just fun animals running around and like blah 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 blah, and then like everybody winds up happy at the end because it's a kids movie and like
It was cute.
it was cute.
enjoyable.
I enjoyed the rabbit quite a bit.
I'm not sure about that food movie where the food realizes they're being eaten. It looks.
I haven't
Sausage
seen
Party?
that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that
Sausage
one.
Party.
Have you seen the trailer for it yet?
It's
I have.
kind of funny.
Like it's food being terrified about getting eaten.
Well, they think they're being chosen for the glory land.
Well,
and
at
they just
first,
watch-
and then they find out like
Yeah.
the trailer is pretty hilarious.
So I'm not sure if they showed the Red Band trailer, but they showed it before Finding Dory. Someplace
Oh, my
out in
goodness.
California,
Made the
I
accident
think,
of it. Yeah, they
Oops.
weren't supposed
accidentally
to.
showed
They
it
weren't supposed
before Finding Dory.
oops.
Have you seen Finding Dory yet?
No,
No, we
I,
haven't seen
Oh.
Finding Dory.
I wasn't a big Finding Nemo fan.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it does
Just-
matter a little bit.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Seriously, just go watch it. Baby
almost-
Dory is the best.
I almost saw it, but then I'm like, I'll watch it.
What's wrong with you guys?
I haven't seen Independence Day yet. There's several movies out I actually want to see that I haven't seen yet.
If I'm in a theater for
I don't
2 hours
watch
watching
movies.
a movie, I can't be getting Pokemon.
That's a fact.
That's true.
If
Oh
they-
my god, that's gonna be
what-
so
what if
annoying
they
as
have a-
everyone in the theater with their phones on
Yup.
catching Pokemon.
I was gonna say, what if there's a Pokestop inside a movie theater?
No,
Oh, that
no.
would be the worst.
I would,
hopefully
I
would
would
not do
disable
that.
the Pokestop. I know it's virtual, but I'd find a way.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I would walk by the theater and then I would lure the Pokestop and then I would leave.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what you gotta do. I mean, that's obviously
This,
right.
bitches.
I mean, if you're a Marcus employee, you're doing
Lure
the
brings
BMC one, obviously.
Yeah.
A bunch of
Employees
Pokemon
are
in the
doing it.
area,
Oh,
and so all of a sudden the people would be like, "Hey, there's a lure going."
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
They'll
So
come
any
in.
Pokestop, once you reach like level 8 or something, they open up. You get these things called lure modules. You click on a Pokestop, you attach it for 30 minutes. Pokemon just appear around that Pokestop
oh.
for anyone, not just you. For anyone.
So in the Pokestop looks like it's a
Pink petals falling.
Yeah.
yes.
Yup.
So okay. So last night when I was driving past the library, that's over here.
Yup.
I drove past because it saw a couple. There was a couple Pokestops right
Yep.
there, like within
Yeah.
touch of
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. I saw that one was glowing.
Yup.
And this is at 12:30 at night,
Yeah.
and I just happened to catch a glimpse. There's two adults or kids, I don't know what.
Yeah.
They're just in the shadows,
Yup.
sitting down.
Creepily
Creepily hanging out
I
in the
was,
lure.
I was at a park
Again,
where Thursday
someone's gonna
night.
get shot.
It was dark, and I pulled up the park. I was driving by the park, and there was 2 Pokestops back to back. So I pull over because I had to get a car to get to. I pull over. I didn't realize people were walking. They both stop and look at me. I look at them and look at me. I look at them. And they keep going. And I just drive off because it was weird. I turn around and I see someone else pull up the Pokestop, and like I don't want to deal with them either. I come back and there's just guys walking around with their phone in the air trying to grab the thing.
Brian and I, we were on the Epic campus, and we noticed that someone had lured one of the Pokestops that was a little off the beaten path. So we walked towards it, and there's a girl standing like on top of it.
Yeah.
And as we walk towards it, she just like walks into one of the buildings and walks away. And Brian and I are like, oh, I guess we creeped her out a little bit. Brian and I are both a little over the average Epic age.
Well,
When I was-
but the point is, you shouldn't play this game while you drive.
No,
By the
definitely
way.
don't do
No.
it.
Do
not do that.
not do it when you're driving.
What you need to do is you need a
Right.
passenger playing who can tell you when a rare Pokemon is nearby. You park park the car because Katie almost caused an accident. We were driving up PD by the Taco Bell.
Driving.
I was driving, and I'm in the middle of an intersection. All of a sudden, Katie screams out, "Stop the car!" And I'm in the middle of an intersection, and I like jerk the wheel because I was not expecting that. And I was like, "What is it? Did I hit someone? Did I hit an animal?" And she's like, "There's a Persian back there." So we had to go up, make a U-turn, park next to the Super Target, and then walk to go get the Persian.
And we just picked up the dog, so I felt good because it was hot.
We left the dogs in the car.
Had to go get the cat.
Oh, I would 100% pull over for an Abra. Best Pokemon, Kadabra, is the best Pokemon.
So they weren't in the car for too long.
No, I mean, we didn't leave them very long, but still, it was really hot out. But we got our versions.
My son and I, when we walked to the park last night or the night before, I'm like, what are those teens walking around weird? Oh, duh.
They're doing.
Yo.
Like, why are they like? I saw them wander past me. I'm like, okay, that's 3 teens, whatever. And then I saw them walking through the park. We were like, why are they random walking? I know exactly what that is.
So last night I was sitting. Oh, go ahead.
So I saw Dad and then 2. Well, you were with me because we were walking. I saw Dad and then 2 kids who were like between the ages of 6 and 8, and none of them had their phone out. And I was like, I don't even know
very confusing.
why you guys are even bothering to walk.
What's this walking without this phone?
What's the point?
What's the point of being outside? I'm walking the art fair, ignoring the entire art fair, just basically watching the Pokemon.
Well, like, I'm sitting in bed. So last night, I was having trouble falling asleep. It's 11:30 at night. And I wake up, and I was like, I'm just going to flip on Pokemon Go. Because sometimes Pokemon will just show up in your house. And so I was like, I'm going to flip on Pokemon Go, see if there's a Pokemon. And I noticed that the red gym near my house had only 2 low-level Pokemon in it. I was like, I could just get up and walk over to the gym, and I could just take that gym right now. At 11:30 at night. I saw somebody from Epic on Yik Yak was like, there's these kids that think they own this gym near my house, but what they don't know is I have a car and no curfew. I'm just going to wait till they go to bed and I'm going to crush their hopes and dreams.
To non-Euclidean Nick, if you just catch them, then they don't flee and you don't know that fact.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, by the way, the circle, if you hold down the Pokeball before you throw it, the circle grows and shrinks. If the smaller the ball, if you get it inside the circle, the less likely they will escape the ball, but the harder the throw is. Also, the smaller the circle, if you get it inside the colored circle, you get a bonus of XP when you catch it of 10, 50, or 100.
Yeah, it's like
FYI.
nice, great, and excellent.
Yep, nice, great, and excellent. And then you can also get a curveball bonus on top of that if you like swirl your finger around before you throw it.
Which we figured out by accident.
By accident.
Also, we could talk about this for another hour. So
Yeah.
So Travis recommends something.
So Travis, make a recommendation.
If you sign up for the ATC when we put that up after the WITC, boom,
Boom. When is the ATC?
February
That was
something.
a question.
February?
You said what if?
Yeah, it's all year. It's
As opposed
That's a
to
long
should.
time.
So the reason it's in February is because the winning team of the ATC, if they're full of American citizens, are the 3rd team for the USA WTC teams.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
like
that.
we're expecting more teams to sign up for that because
That
it's
makes sense.
free
And it's
entry
in,
into.
again, Waukesha?
It'll be in Milwaukee. That one will
That one will
most
be in
likely
Milwaukee.
be at, I don't remember what the name. I think it's City Center. It used to be crap. I'm gonna forget the name. It's the where Gen Con used to be
Mecca.
10 years ago. Yeah, the Mecca, and it's changed names a bunch of times. It was like the Southwest Airlines Center and all that stuff. It's that convention center right downtown.
Okay.
That's where I'm looking at for the place because that's the nearest place that can host a 64 team plus a 64
Which could happen.
individual player, Masters event
Okay, cool.
concurrently. Because it's like, with the WTC slot being up for grabs, we
Yeah,
might
it's gonna.
get
I expect a
64
big turnout.
teams.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get that taken care of shortly after WITC is done, because I got WITC and then Gen Con like right on top of each other. So as soon as those are done, then we're going to get stuff open for the next event. So if you missed WITC, next year Nathan and I are going to be doing it again. So hopefully we'll have more teams.
Very cool.
very
I look forward to doing it again.
exciting. What's
Yup.
your recommendation, Andy?
What? My recommendation is to play a lot more of Fallout Survival Mode. I think we talked about this before last week when we went on and on about it before. I think it's the only way I can play Fallout. I can't handle when I had the option of just going anywhere, that was too much for me.
But now you have to walk everywhere.
But now I have to basically plan out my path. I have to go to this place. I have to find a bed somewhere in between that place. Kill things there and then come back. I mean, today I spent 5 hours trying to clear out one of the raider hives for a mission, and that was, even though I died a ton of times, it was extremely satisfying finishing it and getting out of there.
Because you're taking away all the crutches that make the game easy.
I found a
lot more
disadvantage.
satisfying.
I love survival mode, and I'm enjoying it greatly. I'm like level 26 or 27. Now, I did find a disadvantage of it in Fallout because the first DLC glitched for me.
Oh.
And their recommendation is we'll just go to a prior save when you're playing survival. You do have three. You do have three saves, but it's your last three saves.
Yeah.
And it was glitched for all, so I couldn't fix it. So
that's too bad.
So I have to do that DLC on another character in the future.
That sucks.
And hope it doesn't. I mean, I have two other saves with two other characters I could go in and do, but I was trying to do everything through the hardcore mode.
Yeah.
But I might just do it in one of the characters that has more. And also, that DLC is designed around a high-end character and stuff, and
that would have been hard.
So it would have been hard because to take full advantage of all the features, my character I was playing wouldn't have been able to even maximize it. So but it's such a fun mode.
I don't have any of the DLC, but it's. When I first played it, I really didn't get that far into it before. I just I'm bored. I don't know where to go. Yeah. But now I have a mission, and that's what I do, and it is a lot of fun.
So that's the sort of thing that actually bored me a lot with like Oblivion and Skyrim, because you could just go fast to every place. That it was I lost interest in those games so quickly for that reason.
Fast travel sucks. Not having fast travel also sucks.
Absolutely. But it sucks for a different reason.
Yeah, I'm like I have to go to the corner of the map and then back. I know some of the quests. There's one goes I have to go to the corner, then I have to go back, then I have to go back, then I have to go back and forth like 4 times.
Like if you played survival mode without knowing that, it wouldn't be as terrible.
It's not
knowing it, knowing that you have to do this. Now it's the grind of doing that walk.
But I'm much smarter because I've done everything. I know I've kind of plotted out.
It helps you plot out better if you've already played it through.
Yeah. But it's fun. My recommendation is going to be people should get Twilight Struggle for the iPad or Steam so I can play them against it. It'll be out on the Android soon. It's a fun little board game. Nice. 2-player. Made by people who did Waterdeep. It's called Playdeck Company. They do board game conversions to the tablets. Amazing. Probably better than anybody else.
I just played a game of Waterdeep on my iPad today.
It's exciting.
Literally while we were here.
Literally while we were here.
Boom. So there you go. So that's a fun podcast from us.
It's a nice, short, and fun-filled Pokemon Go podcast.
Well, I mean, obviously now I have time to go to get Pokemon somewhere with the Shays.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally going for a walk after this. That's going to happen.
I'm going to go try to find how far away Huhat is from here.
We have to.
Not too bad.
We have to drop by our house though. So
you want to go?
Yeah, you're charging it, right?
I'm going to go get food at Huhat.
Huhat might not be open that late.
And I have decent power.
I don't know. I'll check. Yeah.
But it was fun, everybody. We'll see you next. Well, we're not recording.
Not including Nick. If you click the AR switch at the top right before you try to catch him, instead of catching him in camera mode, you catch him in surreal mode. It helps a lot for the bats.
And yes, Twilight Struggle, get that. Or Twilight Squabble. No idea. I'll look it up.
The other thing, though, is next week it's possible we might not be recording the podcast.
Correct, because of WITC.
Because of the WITC.
I'm foreseeing, no matter what, I'm foreseeing it being done early on Sunday. Unless
right, but if we're all wiped out.
If we do board games or whatever,
Yeah.
I will be there on Saturday during the day.
Sweet. Yeah.
So the other thing we could do is we could always interrupt your game on Monday. Your Shadows game on Monday.
Then you're responsible for
You're
telling Jordan. I swear to God, I texted him. I already expect to be stabbed when I get home.
I do have the list correction, so I'll most likely get that up tonight.
Nice. That'll be exciting. I look forward to seeing that.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, folks.
Bye.